Okay.
But thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I think I'll start by saying you are one of the first comedians. I've been here 15 years, but one of the first comedians I've always followed through.
Oh, that's awesome.
I
Thank
followed you all the time. That's why I'm shocked when you say you've not been to Nigeria. I'm like, no, family, we need to do something. For those of you who are watching me, AY especially, Basketball, we'll see how we do that, but AY, we need to make a plan. She needs to come to Nigeria and do tour in Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, and also probably Kogi State, so that she knows that we Nigerians, we don't play. But thank you for coming. She's scratching her head.
Yeah, I'm going, hey, what if I fall in love with Nigeria and never come back?
No, you won't come back. Your passport is still South Africa. No, you must come back. No, because I don't want them to now say, okay, Darlington came into the country and kidnapped me. Now I'm like, woo. No, I like cracking jokes. I say my permit is written with pencil. It can be erased anytime. And so I don't want Tumi to be the thing that will make the permit like, okay, Darlington, is that Tumi comes back or your permit is erased?
That's hilarious.
And so for me, that's the thing. But thank you so much for
How
coming.
have you not told me to take off my sunglasses? This whole time I'm going, why does everything feel so dim?
But that's how the show is. We just chill, we just relax and just make sure that we enjoy all we need to do. But talk to me. Who is Tumi? For those of you, for the people who are seeing you for the first time. I know you have, I can say what I know, but I want you to just tell us Tumi.
Why don't you tell me what you know?
Now, the one I know may not be genuine, but at least now I'm seeing you. So you will tell me the genuine version. Genuine version is what I want. So talk to me, Tumi.
Yeah.
When we talk about Tumi, who is Tumi?
Tumi's an entertainer, I guess. That's all I've done. That's my entire career in a nutshell. Yeah.
She said, I guess. As if it's the guessing part for me that is interesting.
Yeah, no, that's because, sometimes when you're filling in those forms and they say occupation, and I want to fill in an occupation, but I go, me, I'm a Jane of all trades, a master of most.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to write entertainer because I work in entertainment.
Yes.
I'm a writer and I write in entertainment. I am an actor, that's entertainment. I'm an MC, that's entertainment. I'm a comedian, that's entertainment. I'm a columnist, that's entertainment,
So when you write entertainment and the person who is reading it, like, okay, which angle of entertainment? You don't get that question.
Which question?
Like, which angle? That entertainment
but
is
I've
broad.
covered all of them. The only thing I don't do is dance. Like, literally. And that's only because no one's paid me to dance. But if they did, I'd hook it up. You know what I mean?
Okay, so if they pay you to dance, the dancing part will come out.
Easy. Easy just. I'm ready.
As long as the money is there, the dancing will just come out very quickly.
Show me the money, I'll show you the magic.
All right, I'm bringing you on the show, I think, for me, when I met your friend, Tumisho. So Tumisho said a lot of things about you. And so Tumisho, you see, finally she's here. Because he keep asking me, when is she coming? I said, no, she's coming. And she said she's going to be in the country. And by the time she comes back, she will let me know. And then I say, no, but please make sure that you disturb her. I'm like, okay, my God, disturb? That part that part looked very heavy, but we'll try and see. But Tosfa, being in your career, if I'm not mistaken, how many decades have you been operating?
Jeez,
that's why I use decades.
Very old.
That's
decades? Oh my goodness, no. Except, oh my gosh, I guess I'm approaching 2 decades, but it's been a decade and a half. That I've been working professionally in this industry. Yeah. Oh my word. It's
now that you're thinking
it's mind blowing.
Decade and a half.
A decade. Well, yeah, just over. Because I feel like professionally I've worked in this industry from 2004, which is when I was doing educational theatre in schools.
Okay.
Right? And this is when I'd been kicked out of university. I hadn't finished yet. I was supposed to do my last year.
So you were kicked out. Who kicked you out?
I got financially excluded.
Okay.
Because I couldn't afford to pay for my degree. So I owed money for 3rd year. So obviously I couldn't register for 4th year.
Okay.
And that's when I then decided to hustle. And so in that time, technically, I feel like that's when my career started in the industry.
Okay.
So that would definitely make it 2 decades. But when I actually formally entered this industry, I would say would be around 2006.
2006.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when I was writing my first sitcom that went on TV that I even starred in. Again, hustling, because it was in a language I don't speak. It was a Zulu sitcom. And
And what language are you?
And so I'm a Motswana thoroughbred, no mix.
Okay. No,
No mix.
no mix.
You know, people are like, hey, I'll have this, have that, 1/4, 3/4, 1 part.
So yours is straight.
Mine is straightforward. And so I was in Joburg and I'd learned enough Zulu to get by.
Okay.
And now we wrote the Zulu show, but I loved the character so much because I'd created her. And every actress we saw just was not, for me, was not nailing it. And so I said to the producers, please, can I read for this girl? And they're like, yeah, but you know she's Zulu. I'm like, we'll make it work. So then I nailed it. The channel loved me. And we said, now, how do we work around the Zulu? Because we have to meet the language mandate.
True.
And we said, well, be a Mosotho girl trying to survive Joburg by speaking Zuto, which is a terrible mix of Sesotho and Zulu. And so I did that. And the fear as well was that, you know, we might offend the Zulu people because they'll be like, now you're bastardizing our language.
True.
But because we stayed true to the fact that I'm not a Zulu person and I'm not pretending to be Zulu, they loved my attempt at it. They loved that, you know, the words are there. They see what I'm trying to say, and I just sound weird. They kept saying, you sound like a foreigner trying to speak a language. I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I am. I'm a foreigner to Zulu. So I'd meet people who watch the show. It was called These Also Connections. So I'd meet people who go, please, like just speak some Zulu for me, you know? And I'd just say something in Zulu and they'd start laughing. And yeah, so I was glad it worked out.
So your like you said, being kicked out of school literally gave birth to the Tumi, the comedian.
Yeah, well, no, the comedian was already born back then.
Okay.
I was studying drama. My strength was comedy, so I always had that. Being kicked out, however, pushed up the hustler in me because I think I was a bit of a pampered princess before then. You know, my parents took care of everything, and when it was just my mom raising me, she took care of everything. And then when I got to Joburg, it was a matter of you're on your own. Now you need to survive. And then when I got kicked out, it was a matter of what do you want? Because I'm like, also, I was like, I'm cute. I can get a sugar daddy. I can be all right. Someone can take care of me. I know this. I'm cute. But the problem is I like making my own money. So I knew I had to hustle. I knew I really wanted my degree because it was going to be the first degree in our family. I really wanted it. And so I hustled hard. I did everything from selling insurance to being somebody's PA to being like, you know, those giant animals over the holidays in the malls entertaining kids. Like, I got abused by kids, man. Hey, I got abused, man.
but somebody will look at you now, this story you are sharing now, that part is not there because they just think that, okay, the moment you finish, for example, you were just born from your mother's womb and boom, you just get into the limelight and all of us like, okay, Tumi, I want to admire her. One of the things I want to ask you, what is that force that keeps you going when you know that when all the odds were against you and you choose to say, this is me, this is the brand I'm going to build, and come rain, come shine, it has to happen?
My mother, God rest her soul. So my mom is from a small village in Tabanchu. So Tabanchu already is small. A lot of people
there's a lot of international listeners.
Yes, so there's a small town.
Describe what Tabanchu is.
So Tabanchu is like a one-horse town. It's a one-horse town. It has one traffic light. I was there when they put that traffic light there. I remember I was in primary school. It was the most exciting thing. We were like watching it change colors. It was like, what? This thing's happening. So it's like, I don't know. It's like, you know, we used to call it, it's like a little toilet stop between Bloemfontein and Lesotho. So you've got a city and a tiny country, and then this tiny little town that just happens to be there. And so I love it. It's a great town. So that's where I grew up.
In terms of province, which side will it be?
So this would be the Free State.
Free State, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my mother was born there, right? And she came from already it's a small town. She comes from an even smaller village where sometimes you'll speak to someone from Tabanchu and you mention that village and they go, what? Which village is that? Which side is that on?
Wow.
Right? And so she grew up in this place and she became a nurse. But she was like one of those nurses with the big English, the one with the nice body, who was something there very much above the knees. The first one to bring her own car drove her own car, drove like Schumacher too. When I drive, I'm like, guys, I drive like my mother. Like, please. My mother used to say the robot is not very red. Huh? If the light is not very red, you can still go. Yeah, there was a red light and there was a very red light.
Okay.
So if she went through the red light and you went, Mom, she'd go, it wasn't very red. So that's my mom.
Okay.
And so I felt like if she could do that, because, you can become a nurse and then that's it. But my mother was passionate about it. She was passionate about how she treated people. She was passionate about being educated. She was highly decorated. Like her epaulets were full of badges.
Wow.
My mother had specialized in everything you can specialize in nursing. And her two favorites were psychiatry and midwifery. Those were the two things she loved. And my mother was very well read. My mom read a lot. I love reading. My children love reading. And I get the feeling that a lot of that was passed from my mom.
Okay.
And so for me, when I went to university, I went into an industry that a lot of our parents don't understand. And so my mom was like, so this thing you're going to do, baby, because me, I trust you. But what is this thing you're saying you're going to do? And I was like, I'm going into entertainment. It's TV. I'm going to be making TV. Yeah. So I didn't say, I'm going to go be an actress. I said, I'm going to go make TV.
Yeah.
And so she was like, the fact that you're going to a school is all that matters to me. The fact that you're telling me you're bringing me a degree, I was like, I'm not just bringing a degree. I'm bringing you an honors degree. And she was like, go. Because I'd promised her I would never have a baby in high school. I'd bring her a matric certificate first. Then when I finished matric, I was like, okay, I won't bring you a baby yet. I will bring you a degree first. That promise I broke. The babies came first.
The babies came first.
But that was a matter of circumstance.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I only went to finish my degree after I'd had my firstborn. And I finally had made enough money to pay off my debt to the university and to study for that year. Yeah. So that's my drive. My drive is I want my kids to go. It's not about where I'm from. It's about where I'm going. But the part about where I'm from is about the inspiration.
Now, somebody looking at you currently now with this inspirational story where you decided to craft your own path. Because the thing that is interesting, I remember my own side too also. My dad wanted me to be a doctor. My mom wanted me to be an engineer. And so for me, I was happy because the both of them were confused.
Yeah, the classic.
I say now, based on that confusion, when you guys are ready, then you come back and tell me I'm going straight to theater. And so before they know what is going on, until when I got an award then in Nigeria, then they're like, okay, so there's money here. I'm like, there's money. So somebody watching you currently now and saying that, to me, I like your story, but I don't know how to pivot my way from this very particular space where I am currently. What will you say to that person currently?
Look at where you are. Find the closest thing to what you want to do and follow it. Because for me, I knew what I wanted to do. I was lucky enough to get into a university that offered what I wanted to do. If I hadn't been able to go to university, I already knew about community projects that were happening or community theater people that existed. And I was like, okay, if I don't get into this place, I know this is where I can go to learn the craft. So for me, people have to have the energy to do the homework. Sometimes you claim to be so passionate, but when somebody asks you, what do you know about the training? What do you know about the alternatives? They don't know. Because you are busy being passionate, but you're not channeling it into anything. Right now, we're spoiled. You have your phone. You can Google. You can search anything. And you will find out. You search theater near me. You search community theater near me. You're able to find people. Or you find actors who post things online.
But as this mindset with I'll use our word, our Gen Z generations, is it Gen Z or Millennium? I get confused with those two. Where by the time they look at you talking, they're like, nah, she's just lucky. The industry just favored her and stuff. So, but I just need to do.
She's just lucky?
Yeah.
I couldn't get work. I had to hustle. Like, if I wasn't writing on this show, I don't know when my first TV part was ever going to come. I had been rejected so much by then that I hustled. But even to get onto this writing team was work. I used to walk more than 10 kilometers walking because I couldn't afford transport. Okay, to go to the writing workshops that introduced me to the people who were doing this show. So again, it's about how badly you want something, how hungry you are for something. You're not entitled to anything. And luck,
you see that part? Say it again. That entitlement, because I need it to be, I need it to stay like in Nigeria. I need to use Nigerian voice to say that part. Because the reason why is because I've seen, even with this show, a lot of people will come like, no, Darlington, you're privileged, maybe because you're a foreigner, that's why. And some of them will tell me, oh, no, because you married a South African. So I'm like, hey, Baba, this is 15 years.
But the thing is, once you have the thing, see, this is the thing I try to understand. People will call me privileged and say, yeah, it's easy for you to say that because you are there. And I go, I wasn't here. I am from Tabanchu. I didn't even have a Joburg Connect. I didn't have anyone I went to school with in Johannesburg who could hug me. I wasn't one of the rich kids whose parents knew somebody who can put them somewhere. You understand?
I don't have referrals somewhere who...
Yeah. I had to swallow my pride and introduce myself to people. But immediately with that introduction, before they can roll their eyes and look away from me, because that's what they do, they know you want something. I would start with, I'm a writer, by the way. And because at the time, I also knew female writers were so few. I hadn't really heard of a lot of black female writers who were working in comedy. Okay. So my first intro to everyone I met was, I'm a writer, I love comedy. Like, that's my vibe. That's what I'm trying to do. I was even like, I will write for you for free. Make me a trainee. I just want to learn how to write for TV because I know I'm funny. And so Akino Motoso was the first person to actually give me my chance.
Wow.
The first sitcom I ever wrote was actually with a kin called Nomzamo.
Okay.
I never got into that one, but I got into the next one. You know what I mean? So it's that thing of, it is hard. I'm not going to pretend it's hard. I hate motivational speakers who make you feel like you are the problem. You are in your own way. Sometimes actually you're not. Your circumstances are in your way. You want to get into this industry, but you have to support your siblings because your mother is supporting all of them by herself. You want to do this thing, but you don't want to also become your mother's new dependent. You want to support your mother. And so I am bearing that in mind before I say to someone, this is how you're going to become famous and become an actress like me. I don't want to do that because I don't know your circumstance. But I can tell you this. If you know how to write, keep writing. Reach out. Go to Facebook. Don't be lazy.
Okay.
But also don't be scared. Okay? Look, everywhere you go, in Nigeria, in South Africa, it doesn't matter which country you're in, there is always some kind of community theater project. Always. There is always a troupe. There are always people who can support you in your writing. I am yet to go to a country, because I've traveled the continent, I've traveled the world. I am yet to arrive in a single country where I don't meet someone who says, oh, this is what we do in my community. Oh, this is what I'm doing. Right. Film this stuff on your phone. People are becoming famous because people saw them sing on Instagram, saw them act on Instagram, TikTok. Yeah. These things are so easily accessible. We all have data. Put yourself out there. It's not like before where you had to really open your newspaper, figure it out, find an internet cafe, pray the internet cafe has electricity.
Don't go to the internet cafe part.
Yeah, pray it has electricity, pray the printer's working. Listen, everything is in your hands right now. The world is your oyster right now. Take advantage of that.
When you as a female comedian coming into, I choose to believe, because I know from Nigeria, for instance, I don't know about the country as South Africa, it was a huge struggle for the female comedians to penetrate into the male-dominated area. When in Nigeria, was that the same thing for you here?
No, oh my goodness, no. I feel as if the country was ready and excited for something fresh and new. Okay. Because you must understand the growth and the development of comedy, stand-up comedy, particularly in South Africa, is white male.
Okay.
Then white female. Then black male.
Then they were expecting the black female.
Mixed, then all the colors were coming in, and then the women were coming in.
So the colors.
And there are some really great women who would come in and leave just because it's one of those unforgiving industries. It's late nights, it's clubs, and at the time there weren't even that many clubs doing it. So I remember when I started out, there was such a remote place we were performing in. I used to have to use like 2 taxis to get there, and then you get that night. Now you must pray that you'll find someone who's going somewhere close to where you're going, so that you can use whatever little money you have to pay for that private taxi to take you home. But it was a really tough time. It was even harder when I'm trying to explain to my family what I'm doing, because now I'm starting to make money. But they're not seeing me on TV, but they know I'm in the industry. And they're like, so what do you do? I'm like, no, I just work nights in these clubs. And they're like, you work nights in clubs and you come home with money. Are you a prostitute? What are you really? Do we need Do we need to lay hands on you? Is this?
Do we need to recheck and probably call those prophets for them to help us see? Okay, what are we not seeing at this moment?
I was going to be taken to church to be prayed for.
with laying of legs and whatever.
Oh my goodness! So it was a hard thing to explain, but yeah, I think in South Africa, what makes it easy for any female comedian coming in is we really do have an audience that's just excited for anything new.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's why a lot of foreign comedians all over the world will come and perform here.
Yeah.
Because our audience is so hungry for something fresh and new. They want to hear a new voice. And so I think it is easier. Because with the guys, what I've picked up is the minute there's a new female comedian, they want to put you on.
Oh,
okay. The rest is in your hands. If you're not funny, you're not funny. I promise you.
There's no second chance.
That's just, you know what I mean?
If you blow this one, it's over.
No, if you blow it, you must come back and try again. That's the thing about comedy. You know, the nice thing about comedy is I always tell people that usually in real life, you die and that's it. Here, you get to be reborn as many times. Comedy is a theater of Lazaruses because
you keep resurrecting.
When you die, you resurrect, you understand? And you learn from the death.
True.
So if you can't learn from your death, comedy is not for you. But for women, it is such a great space to be. Because if you think about it, as a woman, you get to occupy any space you want. True. Because we are the ones building the history and the legacy. There aren't other women before us. We are those women. So we get to trailblaze. So whatever kind of, if you're a disabled woman, if you're a Muslim woman, Jewish woman, whatever your background is, you are starting something and you get to push it. I mean, like if you look at the South African comedy industry, women, we have awards. Women have already won those awards.
Wow.
You know? And for me, it's one of those industries where you'd expect the men to clean up all the time and for no female name to ever be mentioned.
I think that's the advantage of South Africa, where you guys are 4 women compared to my country, Nigeria, because with Nigeria, for instance, you have to, like what you are saying, I'm thinking in my head, I remember the likes of Tiwa Savage and all of these ones when they came into the industry. It was like, okay, woman, what are you doing here? We're not expecting to see you at this very particular space.
Yeah, but that's music. Music is savage. Music is savage. And I'm not just saying that because you said Tiwa Savage, but music is savage.
So music doesn't play cheap.
No, it has its own other rules. Like, I don't know, when I speak to songstresses, it's a different conversation.
Okay.
I think comedy is a different beast.
Okay.
But the world over, man, even if you don't make it in your country as a female comedian, but you know you're very good at what you do, chances are you can step out and kill it somewhere else. And then come back. And now they're going, oh, this one, she's from here, eh? But she killed it that side. Let's listen.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. What is the big break for you in your journey? That, okay, this is the moment where, after all your hustling, and that big break, that hit, and you're like, okay, damn it, from here, I ain't going back anymore.
Sky's the limit. It must have been when I did my first Blacks Only. It was the first time I'd performed for an audience that big. I think it was about 5,000. I'm not sure, but I know it was one of David's biggest rooms.
Okay.
And I did my 5 minutes and I got a standing ovation. And I was like, if I waste this, I'm not serious. And ever since then, actually, it's just been all the way up. All the way up. And I think the thing after that followed was probably Netflix. When I did that half-hour special what is the world according to... No, what is it called again? Comedians of the World. It was called Comedians of the World. And I got my half hour. I had never been to North America. I had never been anywhere near that side of the world. Now here I am having to do my 30 minutes recorded in Canada. And I'm like, guys, how am I supposed to do jokes that I've done in... I mean, I understand a South African sensibility.
Yeah.
I understand an Australian sensibility. I understand UK. Now you're putting me
North America.
In Canada, which is like an America that went to private school, you know? And I'm like, how am I going to do this thing? But I'm so glad I did, because I feel like it opened a lot of doors for me.
Okay. All right. Part of the things I want to find out from your own side now is your own fellow colleagues in the industry, because obviously now you've separated the parts from the acting side to the comedy side. When you begin to get yourself into the space of comedy as a female, how was the receptions from the male to you?
So it's...
I like the laugh.
No, my favorite story is, there's a club. There's a club in a very particular part of Johannesburg.
Okay.
So it's in Brakpan. It's called Carnival City.
Oh, yeah, Carnival
And
City.
at the end of the month, you get a lot of drunk, older white men who go there, mainly Afrikaans. And so I went to go do this lineup, and I was the only female. Everybody else was male and white.
Okay.
And I remember one of them coming to me and just going, "No, don't mind this audience. They're just drunk. It's month end. They don't want to listen to us. They just want to see those half-naked girls who dance before us. So don't take it personally, whatever happens out there, right?"
So they're warning you before
Yeah,
you
he's
get
saying that to me. Yeah, but it was a little bit condescending.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So they all go out, they do their thing. So they started to put me on just before the last guy. So the guy who was telling me all of this, he went on, struggled with the audience, and he was just like, "Do your time and don't stay too long. Like, just even if as soon as you feel like they give you a response, just leave. Like, don't feel too bad about it." I got there and I smashed it. Those guys were laughing. Even me, I'm standing on stage. At some point, I'm even asking myself, that guy said these people are difficult. These people are easy. These people are ready. They just want laugh. I killed. I go backstage. This guy won't even look me in the eye. This guy, he was just.
The guy wanted, it's like my coach, he wanted to kill your career. But you resurrect your career yourself.
So that was one of the rare occasions. But besides that, when the guys saw I was good, like I said, they just wanted me on. I would be on these tours and we'd stop at the petrol station and the aunties there would say, "My baby, it's just you with all these men traveling. Baby. You
They're warning you in advance.
And I was like, "Hi, mommy, it's the job. What can I do?" So yeah, they put me on, which I really like.
Okay, you by the time we were talking off air before, you said you've traveled Ghana.
Yes.
And you've not been to Nigeria.
No.
And Nigeria, this is another one we need to catch.
I'm so ready.
As soon as possible. Basket mouth, AY. What's this other one
Please
again?
now.
We need to bring her to Nigeria very quick because it's not sitting well in my head that she hasn't been there. But are you looking forward traveling to that side? Looking forward traveling to Nigeria?
Yes.
I just have to ask.
I have to go to Nigeria. First of all, I feel like it's unfair to have the jollof wars if I cannot taste the actual Nigerian jollof in Nigeria. Because I've had the Ghanaian jollof in Ghana. And I've had Nigerian jollof in South Africa
so you want
and in America. But I got something's missing.
The Reiko is not there,
So I must go to Nigeria itself to do qualitative and quantitative and correct research
of the jollof
as to which is the winning jollof.
It has to be Nigeria.
It's an unfair competition right now.
No, it has to be Nigeria.
I can't say, my friend, because I've not tasted it on the soil of the Nigerians.
Oh, so it's the soil now. That's what the problem is. The soil. Okay, my Nigerians now, they hear me now. So they use go beg una beg. Make we try do something. We will bring this lady come Nigeria. I told her tonight bad pass. We not go feel live her for here. Maybe she try to score points. She don't go backyard though. Now we be front side as she did backyard since. So those people are Nigerians that will understand what I'm saying.
Understand.
Ghana is a backyard. We are the threat.
Oh my God.
So you have to be at that very particular.
But I'm all up in your goosey though. I'm all up in there though.
Egusi.
Ooh.
You eat egusi?
Well, listen.
Jesus. How?
With my mouth. My belly. What are you asking?
No, me. How did you get it? That's like.
I have connections. Oh.
I know. Now Tumi who they talk to now. Connection good day. Hope the egusi they gave you is the one with this, the what they called egusi riro.
Hey.
The riro version. The riro. Family, we'll be coming back just now, so we'll be going to the second segment and we'll be going to be talking to my beloved guest. I think I've laughed. On the second one, I'll try to be serious because obviously now, because she's still laughing again, that's the problem. All right, before we went on a break, we're talking about the whole issue of collaborativeness, especially in terms of getting colleagues to work in the industry.
Yeah.
How has it been for you in terms of, you said, I wanted to now shift it now to the African, what's it called, the landscape. When you went to Ghana, because I know Nigeria, you've not been there. I don't know why guys have to say Nigeria, please. It doesn't make sense. This lady, literally, I think we need to give her a name. She looks like Igbo. Probably we'll give her a name like Chialuka.
Oh, Chialuka.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, Chialuka. So we'll give her that very particular name so that when she comes, Igbo man. I know, since I don't talk this one down, I'll be like, Darlington, bring her. That's just bring that baby to Nigeria. Bring her. So we need to clear that part first. But how has it been when you get to Ghana? The reception for you, she's still laughing because I was fighting somebody off air. And she just saw me just turn to broken straight. So, right in her very eyes. How has it been for you in terms of collaborating with other different nationality when it comes to this career of yours?
It's been a blessing, actually, because maybe for me, again, it's because I have grown up in what I call the United Colors of Benetton. I'm very blessed because my mother had me around many nations as I was growing up. Then I went to university, and again, I love people. And I love anything that is new to me and anyone that is new to me, So collaborating with people who don't have the same background as me has also been easier because I'm curious, I want to learn. And in fact, this is how I become a better person. This is how I feel like I've lived in the world. So I'm always happy to collaborate. I mean, because even in TV, I've collaborated with a Nigerian filmmaker.
I think I hear you mentioned the name Akio Motosho.
Yes, that was my first one. And then I remember working with Elvis. I shot a couple of films with him. I actually did an ad as well with a guy called The Godfather.
The Godfather.
Interesting. And then since I got to the States, I've gotten to collaborate with a Nigerian brother, Nosa, who had brought comedians from I think it was Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya. I can't remember the other countries, but the point is the Africans were everywhere. And I always feel like when we create together, we make such magic. You know how the United States of America literally is all of those states united as one? I feel like there's an unofficial United States of Africa if we allow it to be. I know we have those undertones.
When you see a Nigerian man turn like this, the talk is about to get serious. Go check my shoe. When I turn, now we want to get serious now. So I've turned.
Because I know there's undertones of xenophobia, and I think where that happens is when people have they have a scarcity mentality. Whereas when you think about the people who think big, they know collaboration is where it's at. You know, I mean, we've worked with the likes of Basketmouth here in South Africa a few times. He's come, and he's actually one of the most popular performers here. You know what I mean? We have comedians coming in from Tanzania now, from Zambia, from what's this? Namibia. I'm thinking about the beer. I always have to picture the beer in my head, then I remember the country. Don't ask. And, you know, we've gotten to travel to places like Botswana, Zimbabwe. Those comedians also come to South Africa. And they build a following. Because, you know, we consume each other. I always say the nice thing about South Africa is if you take away the bad press of our inability to open our arms to our brothers and sisters, think about the majority of the country that does. We make magic all the time. And so we need to remember that. I mean,
so how do we deal with the stereotypes that just because you're from Nigeria and you're here and I just want to do my own thing, how do we begin to address that?
Again, for me, it's a scarcity mentality. If the people you're trying to collaborate with are very protective of their work, you're going to find they don't easily collaborate with their own people either. For me, I just feel
that's interesting.
Yeah, people are not the same. But some people were raised well, some people were reared up. You must watch what you're dealing with. Sometimes just start with the greeting and watch. You know what you're dealing with.
Some people were raised up.
They were raised up, others were reared up. So people who were raised
I promise I'll be serious, but you're making me not serious.
Because for me, when somebody wants to collaborate with me, what they're saying is, I feel like I have something to offer you, but I'm offering you this thing because I think you have something to offer me. So for me, it's an exchange, and that's how I'm going to get out into the world, and that's how you're going to get out into the world. That's how we're going to build this continent. That's how we're going to build blackness and make it so dang cool. You know what I mean? So our identity and the reason why I'm convinced that colonialism is still such a strong stench among us is because we're not together.
True.
Because when we do come
but don't you think, is there no way where we as the Africans in our own continent begin to start to fight to let the people, for example, I tell people, I say this 2063 AU free movement, something that they are bringing. And anytime I bring my guests, I let them understand that 2063 from now, just add 40 years. Are you sure that we are going to be alive to see that 2063 come to pass? Because 40 years to your age now, that's when they are saying that free movement of trade of person will now be allowed. How do we then begin to structurally, even though outside of that, I'm not saying that we should break the law of the government or whatever, but what do we need to do in terms of forming a collaborative, what you call mindset, and yet we do something that will make the AU so-called to understand that, dude, you guys are having your own ideas. We have our own ideas this side.
Sure. That's a very good question. I feel like we've already started doing things that work. And we just need to go to these guys and go, excuse me, this is what we've done without your sign-off. Think about the music videos.
True.
Let's start there. Think about those gorgeous music videos of music from the continent directed by guys from here. Think about the music collaboration that has elevated our homegrown artists because they collaborated with someone from West Africa somewhere. In the same way, piano and that exchange again with those artists. So we've been doing this. Even when you look at TV, I think the entertainment industry is the one that's going to lead the pack. When it comes to collaboration, because we've started with that.
I hear
you know, and also the big conglomerates. I feel like there are big companies that have started doing that, but they're very hush-hush because they go, hey, there's so much red tape. We've been circumventing the red tape. So we can't really come out and say, no, we've been collaborating. We've been doing this thing. Because then they go, hey, we get into trouble. You know, let's go down. Let's take it to the basics. Let's go to the basics of taking care of our children. In a South African context, I know a lot of us who have very busy careers when we have to be picky about who takes care of our children. I shamelessly would say I'm going to go actively try and find a Zimbabwean nanny for my children, especially if it's going to be a live-in lady. And I've said it's because I know she's educated and she can read, and I want someone who reads for my children because we read. You know, anybody else can be going, yeah, that's exactly the problem. Then you don't want to hire your own people. No, I feel like everybody knows what they need. Somebody just needs someone to make sure that children don't hurt themselves and don't die.
True.
I want someone who I know when I'm away for a week, in those evenings, this person's actually able to read with my children, do maths with my children, speak English with my children, sometimes even swim with my children. This has been my experience. So I go, there are little things that tell you that, you know, we have relationships that people can call controversial, and we have relationships that can show you that we can collaborate as a continent. We have created together music. We've created together television. We have created together all these big live shows, you know. So it's just a matter of now going, guys, this is not something that's new to us. We only get scared the minute it's formalized because it becomes that scarcity mentality of, no, now you're going to cheat me. Now I know you, Darlington, you're going to run away with all of the money, or this is a 411 scam, or you know what I mean? And I go, every village must acknowledge its idiot. Every nation has its troublemakers, and we all have our signature trouble. All of us know this is what I'm famous for. This is what I'm famous for. When you go in aware of that. Let's not pretend it's this thing that doesn't exist. Okay, we all have the thing we're all full of nonsense about. Then it means just put everything on the table. Be like, this is why I'm trying to work with you. This is how I'm going to allay your fears. How are you going to allay my fears? Because also you can't come in all the time and just go, yeah, I know you've already decided I'm a Nigerian guy. You can't trust me because ABC. You need to also go, by the way, I don't trust ABC about you either. In fact, by you opening that way, I already know, so that's what you don't trust about me, you know. So now I'm going to share with you, this is what I don't trust about you.
So do you believe that there will be a particular point in time where Africans, we don't see ourselves based on nationality, color, or the village in which we come from? Is there a belief of that?
We're scrambling too much to survive to get there yet. When you're too busy scrounging and fighting and feeling like you have to fight to have something, it is very hard to be open. It is very hard to open your arms. So I think we'll get there. I don't not believe we'll get there, but as long as, again, the scarcity mentality. So for me, I feel like as people who've had to recover from colonialism, we need to acknowledge what it means, because those people created the borders. We didn't create the borders. We got divided according to French and English. It wasn't us, it was them.
Yeah, but how come those borders were put by them, but yet we uphold the borders to the point that if Tumi want to come to Nigeria now, the next minute now they're asking of some
colonial psychosis.
Yeah, but
we are all infected.
It's over 30 years. I'm using South Africa, for instance, as a number.
But even so internally, we're messed up by our own borders. Don't you realize that? You know, someone told me an example of it was a fellow comedian actually that I was speaking to, and he was saying some old man told him, you know, if you take a goat and you tie it on a small rope around a pole, and you just it always walks around in that little circumference. When you remove the rope, it's going to keep walking around in that circumference even without the rope there. That's colonialism. We had that rope around our necks. We walked around that pole. The rope is gone. We're still walking around that pole.
How do we use our diversity and to form a unity in our current space, especially for you as a comedian and also for just the general Africans currently watching? That just because we're diverse, there should be something that is unique about us in our diversity.
But the unique thing about us is how loving we are. People who travel to the African continent are always blown away about how the warm arms that welcome them. You know, the only time I feel like I've been on the African continent and then forgotten I'm on the African continent because I felt othered. In fact, twice. It was Morocco and Egypt.
Okay.
Those are the only 2 times I was like, am I still in Africa? This doesn't... Why are they staring at me? Why am I being told nice color, nice color? This is an African color. This is the standard issue.
This is the standard color.
This is the standard issue. Okay, maybe a little less chocolate than the standard issue, but it's still the standard issue. You know? And then it was being in Egypt and just hearing Africans being referred to as Africans and the Egyptians being referred to as Egyptians. I'm like, but Egyptians are Africans. Yeah. What are you saying? You know? So I suppose, yeah, I don't know. Let's find a common enemy first. Then we'll be, then we go, yeah, that guy is our enemy. Let's defeat the history that told us we were less. Let's defeat the history that took us away from our roots. Let's defeat the history that made us feel like everything we do and the way we do it is inferior to what was brought from the West. You understand? I think that should be our starting point.
When you hear this talk called the third world country, how does that sound to you when they call us Africa?
Third world country. Yeah, let us be third world. Because first world is your first to the nonsense. Own it. Yeah, it's fine. You were the first ones to mess it all up. Go. You killed nature first. You destroy. Go. Own it, please.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I forgot that I'm talking to
No, be first. First world. First to do what? Yeah, you got there first because, you know, you were wearing shoes.
Okay.
We were not wearing shoes, so we had to take out the thorns from our feet before we get there.
Yeah.
Then we got there after you. So to be called a third world country for me is like, yeah, we're third world because you haven't figured us out. You haven't figured out why we've survived you. You haven't survived. You haven't figured out our resilience. You haven't figured out why we are still so rich in natural resources when you are not. True. When you've stolen them from us, we still seem to not be running out. We still have vibranium. And you're going, but we took your vibranium. We're like, no, we have the authentic vibranium. There's more. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Because I feel like if the world was in trouble and there was some kind of nuclear disaster, the rest of the world would start running to Africa because that's where the food is still there.
And everything is still.
The minerals are still there. Because, you know, it's crazy. We grow the stuff. We mine the stuff. Then we give it to somebody else and buy it back after they've gone and processed it for us. It makes no sense.
And I think that's one of the things with this AGOA. Is it AGOA conference that they're currently doing now in Nazareth here in South Africa where Paul Kagame, Rwanda president, where he literally abolished to say, okay, fine, visa-free to Rwanda and all of that. And I'm seeing a lot of people who are complaining to say, no, but if you do visa-free to Rwanda, how do you then filter the ones who are genuine, the ones who are not genuine? And I'm thinking in my mind,
what, genuinely wanting to do what?
Exactly. And I'm thinking, okay, so are they fake Africans? And and the ones that are not genuine. So for me, I think those are the pains there. But the thing there that I want us to now try to arrange. If we're to wake up tomorrow, or probably we're to wake to me tomorrow, concerning this very particular continent, Africa, what would we want to see?
I would love to see us owning our IP for real, where the world takes our stories and owns it and makes so much out of it. I wish we would do that. I wish places like Ghana where where all these cocoa farms are making the superfood that costs an arm and a leg everywhere else in the world. I wish our children, instead of being forced to just go be doctors and engineers, were being sent to the Switzerlands of the world to be taught how to make that chocolate. Let's turn our children into chocolatiers. Let's turn our children into those food scientists who have gone and marketed and packaged food that we grew up eating and made it like gold that you buy in the shops. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see more of our people being jewelers who are taking that gold, taking those diamonds themselves and creating jewelry out of them and sending it out into the world, processing our own stuff, and watching these foreign companies that came in many, many years ago who have come and just made such wealth off the back, the sweat, the blood of our people, and watch them go as reparations. We'll take what's ours, but continue, because it is your blood, sweat, and tears that has brought us this stuff. There's still plenty left. You keep going. You start building something new for generations to come, because we have made our children wealthy. They will always be wealthy. Let us go back and go build on our own, and let you guys build.
In your circle where you are as a comedian, I know that may be a bit of a tricky question. Do you have your fellow people who talk all things Africa? Do they believe in this oneness of Africa? That's why the show, for instance, is called AfriOne, where we can all come together one day and try as much as possible to start having the conversations around building our continent as one, where I don't see Tumi just because Tumi is from South Africa or Darlington is from Nigeria, or some what you call Jackie Appiah is from Ghana. But literally, these are just humans who are Africans who are here. Do you have those conversations within your circles?
I feel like we do. And a lot of times, it's funny. I wouldn't know you're Nigerian unless I listen to your accent and I can place accents.
Yeah.
If we go to America right now, all they're seeing is Africans. They don't know. They don't care. The locality.
Those Americans.
Yeah. So I feel like we do have comedians who have that conversation. We have a lot of comedians who are passionate about performing all over the continent before going anywhere else in the world. And I've met them.
Okay.
I've worked with them. They exist.
Okay.
So it's that thing of we're curious about each other and always wondering, how do we then travel? But it's begun to happen. You find a lot of comedians are performing all over the continent. We really are. We are traveling to Sudan. We're traveling to Tanzania, Lesotho. Yes. Botswana, Zimbabwe. Where else have we gone? Namibia. We really are trying to stretch our wings, but when we travel we also say come back and perform with us as well. I mean, I've had the pleasure of working with people like Churchill, for example. We really are. Comedy travels. For me, comedy is pretty much like music, where humor is universal, comedy is universal. True. And African pain, actually, on an African level, is universal. We understand pain, we understand oppression, we understand our parents, we understand our mothers with their chalawate that's ready to smack us. We have all of these things in common.
It's a common denominator.
It's a common denominator. So we have a lot in common. I mean, even for women, finding our voice and realizing we don't always speak for each other, but when we do, oh my goodness. So yeah, you have comedians who do that. The thing is, it's so much easier to focus on the negative because we live in a world that's taught us to do that. It's taught us to forget what's good about a thing and focus on what's bad about a thing.
What do you want to say about our African leaders currently, and what mindset do you think that they carry in terms of fostering social cohesion among Africans?
You know what? I wish those guys, if we can just, first of all, guys, I hope I don't lose my green card, but let me tell you something. You think you're corrupt. You've not met America. It is they have perfected corruption. It's just that their corruption took a bath. Our corruption didn't take a bath, didn't brush its teeth, didn't dress nice. It's rude, it screams, it swears. Theirs.
No, wait.
But
so corruption to take back.
yeah, their corruption is it's clean. It's
from,
sweet.
From Stellenbosch.
It smells nice. It's wearing perfume. Ours is rude. It's like that man who was in the sun all day and then he still had the nerve to get into a taxi without spraying something under his arms. So if our leaders can come together and do it like the States, where you have one president of the whole continent, firstly, that's why we're going to have a problem. These guys like power too much. The fight is going to be who's president. But guess what? If you look at that country, you will realize something. These different states, the people leading them are virtually presidents themselves. They are they run those states like they're independent entities. I don't care what anybody says. So if we can create a United States of Africa.
Do you believe on that?
My friend, we are the reason why they will never allow us to believe we can do it is because they know how powerful we are. True. We will not need wars. We will not need to go fight them for anything. We will be like, us, we are here. You go solve your issues that side because us, we are here. We are eating and we are feeding our
chopping
babies.
It with 50 fingers.
Chop time, no friend, please.
Chopping like
I'm
with
like,
50 fingers.
West, please.
Just stay your lane. I stay my lane.
Please.
Everybody face their own.
We're busy here. You know, I really believe it can happen. But we should do it with television. We do it with streaming. You know, I look at all these streaming things and I go, I can tell when they're throwing us a bone, they're throwing us a carrot.
True,
you know,
true.
And I go, we don't need that. You know, people like me, when we move to the States and people go, oh, you're going for greener pastures. No, I'm just going because I want my children to have a fancy life. Me, I'm here, I'm home.
But they ask you that,
as
a fancy life, you can give your children fancy life somewhere there in Kenya or probably there in Ghana.
Yeah, so but isn't America? It the dollar? Look at the strength of the dollar. The minute we can overturn that dollar, you know, dollar is the only thing talking.
And you bring them back.
Overturn dollar. Watch me. I ran home yesterday, you know. So, yeah, we have an interesting and amazing continent. Otherwise, why do we come back home? We can't help but come back home. The flavor is here. The heart is here. You know?
It's like I like saying to my families, I say my placenta is still in this very particular continent. I go nowhere.
These people, guys, let me give you an example. People even come to this continent to do surgeries.
True. Most especially here in South Africa. That I can agree.
Go and look at the surnames of the doctors who are performing miracles in America. You find a Nigerian surname, you find a Kenyan surname. Like these surnames. We're making these countries look amazing. It's us.
True.
We need to own that. Africa is stronger than it gives itself credit for. And we need to stop also letting the world outside of the continent make us believe our strength is how we can dance, and our strength is how we can sing, and our strength is how we can draw. We are artists, we are scientists. We've been doing this long before them. We gave birth to mathematics. They mustn't.
I like what you're saying to me now. How do we take back these things? Because somebody who is watching you right now, I know, to me, I follow you, I like you and stuff. But how do I take back these things? What kind of play do I need to start, or probably small involvement do I need to begin to do to make sure that we own back our stuffs?
Even me, I don't know. When you figure it out, tell me, because I'm in the middle of figuring it out myself. But you need to own your identity. You need to know where you're from.
You almost make me want to stand up and start walking.
Well, we must all do our own research now. Google is not our friend. On this one, Google is not our friend. We are our own Google. We need to find it in us.
True.
We must ask, how is it that a child in the West can spend 10 years studying a thing, but us, we can look at it on the YouTube and replicate the damn thing within a week?
Within a week, yeah.
Languages that they must be taught. Oh, my child has a private tutor. We will listen. Tomorrow we're speaking like that. You will see a dress that was worn in Hollywood. Tomorrow I'm wearing that same dress. How?
Yeah.
We are incredibly resourceful. There is no reason for there to still be so many of us after what history has done to us. But there is. Why?
Don't you think that it's just the powers that be, especially, I know you're from the west of Recent, and so you stay that side, your people that side. Don't you think that they are playing us? They are playing us as a puppet, and
give them enough. Then they then they give us Black Panther, so we can go. Oh, our greatness is a story of fiction. It's non-fiction. I bet you vibranium actually exists, but now we think, oh, it's fake because it's a Marvel. No, I'll bet you we actually have something on that level.
True.
That's why we're such a fascination. Have you seen? Listen, as a woman, I have traveled the world with male black men. My friend, the way these white women become useless for these men, but useless. They will do anything. I'm just waiting for one day for a woman to go, I will give you my inheritance. Just take it. I don't know what it is. You chocolate brothers are a problem. I don't know what it is. They'll just hang on every word you say. And it's like, it's surreal. I watch these women and I go, I don't understand.
True.
Your very country itself has chocolate running around. But the minute it is homegrown chocolate, it's like you can just sense the ancestors around this man. And you just want to jump in. You know, you have FOMO. You want to taste an ancestor or two. Like, I don't understand.
Oh my God. All right, family. We were coming back on the final segment whereby we were talking to Tumi about all things that she has in plan, and also in case if there's any collaboration that she has on the table and how we can definitely find her. She says she wants to be in Nigeria for me.
Yes.
That one, it's important. And I am taking it as a personal course. And so all of you watching me, on the email that is currently now showing on the screen, please make sure you email. And let's get Tumi to Nigeria.
I will live in Polda. Gele.
You try Gele.
For you, just
the Gele that look like umbrella to place on.
My friend.
All right, back just now. We are back again on this very particular final segment where we'll be talking to Tumi about everything, her career, and also what she has in store for us. But let me say this on air because I want her, and I was saying to her off air, literally, she's the first female on the AfriOne show.
Whoop, whoop.
The first. And I remember the first time I called you. Remember I said to you, I'm like, I don't know what to say to you. And she was chilled. She was just laughing at me. I'm like, okay, this woman, you're not making my life easy. She was just laughing. She's like, okay.
Yeah, you were being weird. I was like, Also, it was morning for me. So I'm also thinking, I haven't had my first cup of coffee. This brother.
What is this? No, I think in the world of entertainment, they say you are starstruck or something like that. So for me, I'm like, okay, the Tumi I used to see on TV. So I have a number, so we can talk. And I'm calling her, and she's chill. She's not telling me talk to my 72 PAs. Because I'm honest, guys. My Nigerians, because you've been to other countries. My Nigerians.
Oh wow!
Just get her PA. If you can get the PA, you're good.
Yeah, that's true. He's very good like that.
Yeah.
No, because you see, when people do that, I find it strange because I don't think I'm a celebrity. I am well known because I've been on television. Hear me out.
You see, I'm in Nigeria.
Hear me out.
No, they talk.
I have done the TV things. I've done the radio things, but unlike celebrities, I live in the society that I entertain. I'm that girl. You will find me. If there's a tavern, I will stop by the tavern to grab my beer. If there's a shop, if there's a lady on the side of the road, I'm there. Those are my people. I hang out with my family. I don't have celebrity friends. I'm not a red carpet girl. In fact, if I must do red carpet, it's a fight.
AY, basket mouth. I beg, make we call this lady. Make she know the kind of celebrity where she be. Because it never enter her mind where she never enter. This is they play around. It's when you land Nigeria, you will now see the convoy. Then you will know that you are not just. And that thing is
I prefer a humble life.
I hear you, but it doesn't operate with Nigerian markets. So I'm only warning in advance. 101. It's not in that country called Nigeria. It's not there. You won't find. By the time they are picking you from the airport, you first of all ask a guy, am I coming with the president, or am I the PA to the president of this country? Because that's how much. And this is the thing about us as Nigerians. When we meet people like your kind, we honor, we celebrate. We don't just see I'm like, that's Tumi and Co. We'll fly on your head. You just notice that, Like, and then how did you get here? Like, don't worry. I find myself here. Can you just give me that 2 minutes smile and let me take my picture so that I know I met you at the mall? Because most times I see South African celebrities and I'm like, hey. I was even saying to my wife, I said, I think I need to come up with a business deal to make this South African celebrity understand that you guys are not common. Because you guys just walk around and just chill, like you were saying, you just want to go on the road, buy things. Like, no, don't try it. Don't. No, we are paying what you call TV license, not to see you on the road. No, we are busy seeing you on the road. Like, no, that's not Ayuba. Nah, it's not Ayuba.
I think there's different kinds. There's the ones who live that way so that their scandal tastes nicer when it happens. Then there are those of us who, if a scandal comes out about to me, they go, I was with her. You're telling me something I know. I was there. I can't even tell you how she did it. You know? Unlike these guys where the scandal comes out like, ooh, what? But she looks so, you know? But and I feel like people shouldn't mistake that humility for you can walk all over me.
Obviously.
I know my worth. I know my work.
Definitely.
Don't get it twisted.
Definitely.
But I feel a need to be connected to people.
I think that's, for me, I'll be very honest saying it live on the mic here. Your warmness, your ability for you, there's this humility that you display. And remember I sent you something when I was watching on ENC. Is it ENC?
Yes, ENC, yeah. No, News Africa.
News Africa, yeah. And I was looking at you sitting there and I'm like, okay. Because I just finished recording. Yeah. No, I was recording, so it was the second segment of the recording. So I paused the guest. I'm like, hey, guy, come, you guys are guys. And they say, relax. Chop down. I say, see that lady that is there on that TV? He says, yes, that's the first lady that is coming here. He said, what if I bring somebody tomorrow? I say, forget you are bringing nobody. I've already said it to her that she's the first and she must be the first. But to get into this third segment, in your career, what do we want to see to me? And please, if you have something around South Africa, please help us broaden it.
No, while I'm in South Africa, I'm just doing club gigs. I'm getting back into the swing of, building my next special.
Are we ever going to see your stand? How do you call this?
Stand-up comedy.
Stand-up comedy.
Oh, my one-man show?
Yeah.
I will be doing one probably towards the end of next year. But right now, if people go on my Instagram, they will see, because the club gigs come up as we go. Thing is, right now, it's corporate season for me. So I'm mainly here doing a lot of corporate work, which is private functions. Yeah. And I'm possibly also filming for a big streaming channel. So that's what I'm busy with. But then you can't say these things because, hey, the ink is not dry on that contract. Just now you're talking. Just talking,
and all of a sudden it's like what I said about my permit. It's written with pencil. It can be blown away.
Exactly.
Like, hey, Baba, we're still respecting you. So if in your stand-up one-man, I think I get confused. One-man, stand-up, one-man, whatever.
One-man show, yeah.
One-man show. Who are you collaborating with?
That's what I need to figure out.
Okay, AY. Me, I'm calling name. It's okay. AY. Anne Kasime. I think that one is that. Anne Kasime.
She's amazing. She's incredible.
Anne Kasime also. Please, we need to flood South Africa. We need to flood it here. And probably let's even do it a tour. Yeah. I don't know what I'm getting myself into.
Ooh, you know what I am doing next though is we're doing a New Year's Eve recording with BBC World. And the Arts Hour. And usually on that, what I love about hosting that is that the comedians are from all over the world, and there's usually comedians also from the continent. So I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know who's on the lineup yet, but that's going to be coming out on New Year's Eve, and the recording will happen end of November. So I will put it as well. Once I have all the details, I'll put it on my socials so that everybody knows to listen.
Which social media can they find you?
So I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on X.
Yo, X. I struggle with that name.
I'm an X.
I'm an X.
You re-X people. You sub-X. Listen,
I'm my X. I'm on X.
I'm on X.
Okay. Bye-bye. It's called Twitter.
Because people got angry. I'm leaving. I'm like, you're lying. You like drama too much. You're not leaving.
You will still stay on that very particular X thing.
Yeah.
So you...
and please, if anybody who reads Bona magazine, I am a regular columnist. I've been writing their columns since last year this time. So every month at the back of that magazine, if you are able to ask them to send you all of them so you can read, I write these light-hearted articles. And
Bona magazine.
Bona magazine. That's
all right.
What I've been doing.
Definitely the picture you're seeing currently now will be the Bona magazines. And so, which stores can they find it?
Everywhere, as long as it does magazines.
Everywhere it will be there. Okay, I'm more of exclusive books and CNA. So.
Oh, Oga, you want us to know you have money?
No, it's not about money. Don't be money issue.
Exclusive book.
Don't be money issue. Not the only
CNA.
Not the only place where I know be that. You don't go blame me. Na foreigner be.
Woo.
Now they tell you the truth. I can't go shopping. So they come kidnap me. The next minute now, my family got the complaint. Sure. Funny enough, I was saying to my wife that I said, me before we got married, I choose where I stay because I know that, oh boy, now only you did this country. Anything happen, they're not gonna find you. Especially in that period of xenophobic, I'm like, guy, forget that part. So because of that, I determine where I stay. Yes. Even shops I go to, I'm like, let me first of all check. Like, oh boy, I don't want to hear a story where they touch her too. You know, when something starts, if you start a statement with "it was when,"
it was when.
So I choose those ones. So I'm not exclusive book. Now never pay me money. CNA, una don't pay me money. But I just those Nigeria they buy. Una free staff sponsor now. Nothing spoil. If you don't know what I'm saying, please consult your Google. That's all I would say.
I love Pidgin English.
No, but I think you need to learn Pidgin English very quick, because you will blend it there very well with Nigeria.
So true.
You will blend it with Nigeria very well. All right. With that being said, now your parting question, you still like. To me, let me concentrate now. Because I want focus. I get job.
Focus, Oga.
I get job. I want to do my job here. Otherwise, now before people will go see me now and say I don't lose my career, somebody now be looking at Darlington. She's actually South Africa. You're busy speaking broken. I'm like, we're Africans. It's okay.
It's okay.
If she's not hearing, it's not my fault. Like my wife likes saying all the time. It's like you've been here 15 years yet you can't even speak Xhosa. I said that's why I married you. Two shall become one.
You married your own Google Translate.
Yeah, exactly. So when she talks, I'm like, you see what she just said is, let's make peace.
And we always say English came via a ship, guys. It came here on a ship.
Can you not
stress? If it came in a car, we would have hijacked it and been so good. But it was a ship.
Yeah. So now, what would be that thing that you would want people who are watching to get from you as an African and what you breathe out?
Authenticity, man. Authenticity. It's a word people like to use loosely without understanding it. Be true to yourself, man. Be true to yourself. Because when you're true to you, you're true to where you're from. You never get lost. Even at your lowest, you know where to go. The darkness always has some little bit of light, and that light always leads you back home. True. Be authentic. In the same way, when you know how when we get married, we leave home, and you always have that one auntie or even your mother who'll whisper, or your father will whisper, if it doesn't work out, if you're not happy, come home.
You see, funny enough, the same thing I said to my younger sister. She's in UK. I say, Vicky, say, you are the only girl I get to. I just go beg you. I use everything when you taste soft, they beg you. Your plate, I no break hammer. Your plate still in one corner.
Be true to you. Be true to you, because when you're true to you, it's so much easier to find your way back to yourself when things get messed up. So I think that's my parting shot. Is we live at a time where I'm sad to see how many people are struggling with mental issues. And I'm not talking Gen Z mental issues where they need a mental health break. I'm talking real authentic issues. People who are attempting suicide, people who are dealing with very deep depression. And I think a lot of it is because we are trying to live lives that are not ours. We're not living the lives we want to live. We're living the lives we think everybody expects us to live. And we need to stop. That thing's going to kill us.
Have you ever been discouraged in this comedy industry you are?
Absolutely, I have. Because the minute I started speaking my own voice, and I was literally being told, no, that's not the voice people like. And I went, but this is me. I thought people like me.
Okay.
Because when I get on a stage, it's not like somebody gave me a script. It's always been me. So why is this version of me a problem?
Okay.
And it was very hard to come back. Because what happens is those voices become loud.
Okay.
And they drown out your own voice. And that's when I learned that thing about authenticity.
Yeah.
Because then I started to do what I thought I'm being told to do. And the more I did it, the more I hated it. The more I hated comedy, the more I pulled back from comedy.
Wow.
And now I'm going back into comedy because I've gone, wait, do you know who I am?
Your leg balance. Your leg balance, both front and back. Nothing fish shaking.
Self jumped out of self and said, sister. And then I'm like, you're right. I forgot. I remember now. So,
what is the cultural shock you've experienced when you were in Ghana? Because you've not been in Nigeria, so what is the cultural shock you experienced?
I don't know if I had so much of a culture shock than a weather shock.
What?
Nothing can beat my first time in Ghana. It was traumatic.
Okay, Ghanaians, get ready to hear the trauma.
So I'm in the aeroplane.
Uh-huh.
Aircon is doing the things. I'm thinking, oh, aircon, okay. We get off the aeroplane. I feel like I got inside something. You understand? Hear me.
I'm trying to process this.
Out of an aeroplane to the outside, but I felt as if I got inside something.
Inside some
I just went, am I in water? I don't see the water. How many kettles are boiling at the same time in this place? Then I got inside the airport. I was like, oh,
there's life here now.
We're here. And then I say, oh no, the car's waiting. I'm like, oh, wonderful. What just happened? And then I was your complexion in one day. One day.
So you have to include me in the complexion.
I was your complexion, my brother. I was like, this at least is something I've always wanted. I've always wanted to be biscuity. It's like, look at me, I'm biscuit color now.
So for you, it was the weather.
It was the weather, but the culture, I think it wasn't a shock because, like I said, I've grown up around people from all over the world.
Okay.
So that wasn't so much of a shock. I think I enjoyed being called beautiful, like being attacked with my beauty, because that's how, yellow, brony. They're like, brony, oh, you're fair. Hey, sister, oh, you're fair. You're beautiful. They say this to me in tree. And I was like, oh, thanks.
Well, in Nigeria, when you get there, we are, maybe urewa.
Hey, urewa.
As in, when you reach Nigeria, ask them, what is mean of urewa? I'm like, that guy who said that to you, he's looking for trouble.
But it was also the akwaba from the beginning to the end of that thing where people just akwaba you all the time.
True.
That was great. Oh, and also I loved that. Here.
I was like, okay.
No, this was exciting for me.
Okay.
Because me, I love food. You can tell. I love food. So
I thought you fast and pray and just drink water.
My brother.
Forget that part.
It's just, this is grace. This is grace. The glow is grace.
Okay.
So I love snacking. And I loved I enjoyed how when we were in Accra, even in Kumasi, when you want a snack, the snacks are healthy. That blew my mind. I'm like, look, on the side of the road, I can go and buy myself peanuts and I can get myself some plantain.
Some plantain
I can
and
get
coconut.
And I was like, this is so healthy and I can afford it.
Yeah.
It's like literally, if I wanted to live healthy and eat healthy, I'm going to move to Ghana or to Nigeria or, and I know that on the side of the street, I'm going to get food that is going to be filling. True. Unlike here, whatever I eat, I know I'm eating nonsense.
True. Funny enough, my wife like cracking joke. He said, by the time I get to Nigeria, with the kind of job I'm doing and the kind of money I'm making, so I'll be a president. I'm like, sugar, go away. Like, go away. So for me, those are the things there. Now, in terms of you trying as much as possible to mitigate some of this conflict that comes to your mind, as to how do I manage this? When you meet a new collaborations and stuff, what are the mindsets that you put yourself into to be able to collaborate with this different, for lack of better word, different Africans who is standing in front of you?
I always start with I don't know. I must just assume I don't know.
Okay.
I'm starting on a clean slate. And I will arrive and I go, okay, this is what I want. This is who I am. This is what I can do. Beyond this, I can't do.
Okay.
And if you are not going to let me ask questions, I can't collaborate with you.
Oh, okay.
Assume I'm asking questions because I need to know. And you are welcome to ask me questions. Because I know sometimes people start to get annoyed when you have questions because they're saying, why don't you trust me? Don't you trust me? And I'm going, no, I am a brand.
True.
I've been building my career for a very long time. I am
going to 2 decades.
I am not going to do anything without being sure.
True.
I'm happy to take a risk and be conscious that I'm taking a risk because these are variables. But you need to be able to be honest with me as Darlington and go,
True.
I can't guarantee you will be able to do this, but this is what we're trying to do.
True.
Then it gives me the option to go, he told me.
Oh,
So
okay.
if it works, we win. If it doesn't work, you told me.
True.
You warned me it might not work. So that's my thing. And also we should be collaborating to grow. Let's not collaborate and then we are exactly where we were. Oh, we're collaborating, but we're going to perform to 200 people. It's not going to have an impact on your following. You are not going to get any money out of it. What are we doing? Then what are we doing? And if genuinely that's what you're doing, you're going, no, we're trying to build an audience. We are trying to create a new niche. We're trying to create a new market.
Yeah.
So we are starting off at a base that's got no money.
Yeah.
You're
At least you
honest
know.
with me. At
Yeah.
least I know. If you're creating something new, at least I know. That's all I want because I like to play.
I hear you.
I like to, if I can tell you how many things I've done for free and the rewards I've reaped since then.
I think as you're saying that, there is something that is coming on my head. Maybe by the time the show is over, we'll discuss with my wife in terms of new collaborations. And also that will cut across 3 countries that we're trying to facilitate now. And obviously, as my first female, like I said, they go anywhere. You don't aka gum. Go and ask what is aka gum. I don't gum you. The only difference is that when you enter flight for OR Tambo, you dey go that side. Now the only place, but the moment you reach there, I don't
It's
gum
over.
you. I will catch you again. If I have to go turn pot, I'll turn pot for you. But I think I like what you just said in terms of clarity, because that's one of the big problems we face as Africans, where we seem to assume that people should know. And that then begin to put us in a trouble, because you're like, okay, but you should have known that this is me. Like I remember by the time I was speaking to your PA this morning, and we're just trying to just get, so I said to him, I'm like, no, it's okay, because I understand the office where you are, that it didn't take you 15 decades. No, I mean, not 15 decades, can you imagine? Jesus.
Wow. Dinosaur.
Okay, guys, let's cut the 15 decade
Vampire.
part. A decade and a half.
Yeah.
Not be 15 days, oh.
Yeah.
You don't see things. You don't cross places.
But I respect people's time.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, you have to be told in time that we're struggling with time. But here's my thing as well. Guys, don't be afraid to put things in writing. It's so much better to put things in writing, because then
you see that part
we
now,
won't fight. You have to put things in writing so that if there's anything that's misunderstood, let it not be he said, she said. Let us all be able to say, but we read this thing. We've signed to say this is what we understand, and that's it. Don't be afraid of contracts. That's another thing. Don't say, but we're brothers, we're people, handshake is enough. No, not in a
but
complicated
I think to
thing.
me, this is a thing here. It's quite different from each country. Oh. My country, as I do like this in a contract, oh, just shake with me, you see. Shake now.
I'm scared now. I shake,
Shake
and next
now.
thing you go like, I've got
Shake
footage. We
first,
shake.
just shake. Nothing go happen. Just shake. This one, na contract for Nigeria.
You see now. Now I'm not coming back from Nigeria. My
Contract
family,
from
I'm
Nigeria.
sorry.
Now, contract from Nigeria. But the reason why is because I've seen this contract issue sometimes, because people don't understand what is in it.
Yeah.
And now you go sign a contract, and tomorrow you find yourself being. I tell people the first money I lost in this country was literally papers issues. 750,000, I will never forget.
Oh my God.
700, and that was like the second year of being in this country. I feel like crying.
That's horrible.
Because of the whole issue of contract.
Yeah.
And because I was trusting this person based on the fact that, remember, I came from Nigeria. Nigeria is a matter of, you go give me, life move on.
Yeah.
No, nothing spoiled.
Yeah.
Can imagine they speak broken for you now. It's okay. You're
I
in Nigeria.
understand,
you
Wow.
give me nothing spoiled. You want to say so? No, it's true now. You're Nigeria. Nothing spoiled. I don't call it Chialuka. Remember, your name be that.
Chialuka.
So, all of a sudden, by the time I now needed to go collect that very particular fund and stuff, I lost it because at the end of it all, some lady who signed took it. We flipped that same very particular business deal with a Nigerian, found out with a Nigerian, with a Ghanaian. And it was literally handshake. And this very particular lady who was my business partner then was shocked. You guys didn't sign contract. And yet the money reflects in your account. I say, that's what they do for my country. This one is on a carry paper. They confuse us. Because it's, and this is one of the things I tell people. I said, when you go to a different land, find a system that works there
That
first.
works there. You're right.
Because you may carry your own system from
is
Nigeria and get into South Africa, you discover that, oh boy, you go poor.
But if there's more than just you and me, the handshake is complicated. That's my thing.
Okay.
If it's not just you and me, the handshake is complicated. Because also, think about it. We're going to handshake now. We are collaborating. Next thing, Netflix is buying your thing.
Okay.
Next thing, after that license is finished, View is buying that thing.
Yeah.
You understand? You are chopping. I'm not.
Yeah.
And I can't come fight you for that money because we never agreed that should these things happen, you're going to give me something. When we are shaking hands, we're not doing an extra A, an extra B, an extra C. We're shaking and agreeing on this particular thing.
Yeah,
so for me, today's collaborations, if you think about it, always have more that can come. I'm speaking in the context of comedy and creating work that has people's IP in it.
Sure.
Intellectual property is really important.
No, it's important.
And so I agree with you. Wherever you go, know how the system works. But the minute there's more than just you and me, and it's also the potential for growth, I don't want to be elbowed out.
True.
I trust you, Darlington. I can see you. You look like you're BFFs with Jesus. But I don't know when the devil will trick you.
And then we will just come
and then the devil is like, come now. You're the one who signed this deal for this 15 million. Why must she get 5 million when you can just chop that extra 5 for your kids?
You know. No, I feel you. As we begin to bring our talk to a close, because I know people will be asking the question, even especially my family that is not from South Africa. Are you SMD? I know you're looking at me like, what's SMD? Single, married, divorce. I know you thought that is a car company.
I was waiting. I'm like, you said, no, I'm thinking it's some kind of IT terminology. I'm like, yes, version what?
Looking for version. SMD. Because the reason why I'm saying this, I have a lot of followers from Nigeria. And I don't want you to get to Nigeria and Congo will knock market for that side for me. So I'm being careful. So let them know, are you SMD? You don't need to just say SM or D. It's a story for another day.
M.
She says M.
The marriage certificate says married in South Africa. So I don't know if we meet in another country, what could happen.
In another country, when the Sakwa eats, it will be single.
It's very specific. Signed on this day. I'm married in Bloemfontein, South Africa. I don't know.
When you get to Nigeria,
I don't know what happens when you step out.
Yeah. Okay, now I understand.
Is it Nigeria jurisdiction? I'm joking. This is how you get into trouble. I joke. I kid. I'm a comedian.
Exactly, she is. So let's not look for trouble beyond this. So she says M to my fellow Manna.
I'm sorry.
She said M Shibio.
Although there's a guy.
Which guy?
There I am minding my own.
Yeah.
I'm getting gas. This guy. Hey, sister. What you say? So I show him my ring. He says, please, I have monkey wrench. This guy.
You go blame the guy now.
Like,
hustler, what do you mean? I
can break this thing. I'm like, this guy.
Forget that thing. What do you mean? No be hand you put up. Now they say how to go remove the thing now. I think it's like what I tell people. I said, and maybe because also I also operate within the Christian folks and stuff. And I tell most of my members, I say, see, hear me. Engagement is a booking. Can be cancelled anytime. Like it's a booking. Like guys, come down. I don't understand how you'll be engaged for 3 years. Are you Lord of the Ring? What's your problem? Like
it's a booking.
No, engagement is a booking. Yeah. It can be cancelled anytime. So that's the thing there. When I see people tell me, how long have you guys been engaged? I say 3 years. Are you Lord of the Ring? Hey! And then they keep quiet. They looked at me. They're like, okay, my time now is left with 5 minutes to go. That's why it's so for me, those are the reasons why I asked that very particular thing. Which of the artists do you want to collaborate with as we begin to bring my thought to a close? And look at the cameras and call their name. She's already laughing. Can you imagine? Call their name and let's make sure it happens. Look at me. The camera is there.
I don't know.
Not the one you want to collaborate with. Okay, AY and Basket Mouth. I want you to collaborate with them. That's my own first two. So I don't know which other ones again.
Yes. Okay, Basket Mouth is definitely up there.
Is that?
The Basket Mouth is definitely up there.
Okay.
To be nice to work with Van Vicker again. That was very nice. No, because he's really talented and you can learn a lot from him. Like I like the way he operates.
Okay.
And Kasime would be really, really cool if we could do like a show, like a streaming channel show. Oh my gosh, there's so many people that love to work with. I want to work with Natasha Rothwell, but that's not from the continent, obviously. That's American. We have the same forehead, so I'm always like, our big foreheads must shine. I don't know. I wasn't expecting this question, so I haven't really thought about it.
That's why it's called the AfriOne show.
But I would also like to work with musicians as well from the continent. That would really, really be dope.
Oh, okay. You want to sing?
Create something.
I'll write songs.
Write songs. I write.
Okay.
I write. Yeah, but also create a show that has music and comedy that lives, that just lives and travels, Somebody can steal this idea now. Next thing I'll be watching TV. I'm like, this is the thing I said on that thing. But yeah, steal it. I don't.
But funny enough, when people steal idea from me, this is the thing I tell. It can't be authentic as the way you want it.
True.
That's the thing. It's the authenticity, like you said. It's you own the space.
Yeah, I think right now the tricky thing is my big focus is just on my babies. We're very fresh in the States, so I've been such a mom and a housewife. Okay. So it's also been crazy getting back into being the showbiz girl, because I don't know. I came to a point where I just felt like I feel like being a mom. Let me be home. Let me do my babies. And now I'm going back into the world and going, so what's popping since the pandemic, So I think once I've settled into that again, it's going to be...
But obviously you're available for invitations.
Guys, there's something about turning 40 that makes you go, you know what, I'm here now. Before 40, I used to be like, we'll have to see, I just want to see what you're offering. Now I'm like, I know exactly who I am. I know what I want and what I don't want.
So now let's go.
So if you're interested, let's go.
No, that's it. Thank you so much, Tumi.
We could
go on another one, but obviously I just want to stop so that by next time I bring you, you won't say this guy took my time.
And please, food.
Is it? Food.
Something Nigerian.
The next time I promise you, do you take draw?
Yeah?
The draw soup on.
No.
You see? Because I know you. You see the way the no is very thick. No. My wife, whenever she is, you'll be like, yes, I have comrade. Okay, so you only do egusi, no draw. Yeah. Okay, so the next time you're going to come around, definitely we're going to make egusi for you so that you enjoy the egusi soup. You. But thank you so much for coming. I really enjoyed myself. And like I said, family, she's the first.
I want to come to Nigeria, please.
She's going to, she says she wants to come, so she will come. No, that one is for sure you will come. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Family, we've come to the end of the show. As you know, this is the AfriOne show. I remain your host, the Afropolitan Apostle, Darlington Steve. I'll see you again on the next segment. Bye for now, and God bless you.